What's up, Panda? Peter Von Panda here. Hey, ordered myself some tactical flip-up sights. These are in dark earth, or FDE, if you like calling it that. And I ordered them for my pistol. And you may have seen an earlier video. I bought these back iron sights, and they're pretty good. I've got no complaints with them. But these are just straight inline sights that flip up on the rail. And one of the things that I really like are offset sights. And I really wanted a set of offset sights like this. They were actually really hard to find. I got these from Tack Junction. This website does not seem to work, but I will try to put a link in the description to see if I can get you a link to this company, because I could not find these anywhere other than buying them directly. Now, they did come from overseas, so I don't know how good they'll be, but they are what they are. They're in the color I want because I wanted to use them on my AR pistol, which I'll show you. Now, I went ahead and switched the optic on my AR pistol too from the red dot that I had on there originally to this. And one of the reasons why I like offset sights are a lot of guys like backup iron sights in case the red dot fails. Now in this case, I have a quick release here, and if the red dot fails, you can use the quick release lever and take it off. A lot of optics don't have that, and a lot of guys like co-witnessing sights like these with their optic. Now my problem is that's all right if the red dot fails because of a battery failure or something like that. But in my personal experience, most of the times that optics fail are not because of the hardware, but because of the elements, because of rain, mist, fog, humidity, things like that. Condensation or water droplets that accumulate on the glass itself make a co-witnessed backup iron sight useless, in my opinion, because you can't see. You've got water droplets, you can't wipe them, it smears it. And so what you want, in my opinion, are offset sights where you can rotate the gun to the side and you are looking through nothing. You don't have any obstruction to it. So first of all, let me show you these sights because I think they're pretty cool. One, they are the skeletonized attachment here, so they fit in between the pick rail into the T slots here on your picatinny rail, and thus they're lighter, they're thinner, they're less bulky, etc., etc. These are 45-degree offsets, and the back here where the aperture is just a post. It flips up. It does not require anything to, it doesn't require you to push anything to flip it up or to push it back down. They just kind of lock into place with a detent that falls into the slot there. But they do stay up in place pretty well, and they fold down with ease, but they won't necessarily be knocked over by recoil. The top piece that holds it, this whole upper piece, mounts to the attachment here with a set screw. So it kind of has its own little reverse picatinny rail. This slips in there, and then you screw it down. It's the same on both. So this bottom portion is the same on both of these. It's this top portion with the front or the rear iron sight that can be interchanged, presumably. Now, I did notice that the base on this one was a little loose. All I did was tighten it down there with an Allen key, and it was really tight. This one was already really tight. And again, this one is a front post with a little shroud on it, and again, snaps and clicks into place up and down. Okay, so that's pretty cool. There is another set screw here that you adjust with an Allen key, which it does not come with, so you got to have your own tools, and that just presses this screw into place. Now, the cool thing about this is because the T-slots, everything gets braced together here, it's not going to slide forward or backwards. So you don't need this set screw to really place a lot of pressure on your hardware. It really just needs to get into place here. It's angled, and so it would fit into, press right up against that angled lip on the Picatinny rail, and it just needs to keep it from rocking off. So, you don't need a lot of pressure. You don't have to worry about it damaging your hardware too much, etc., etc. Then to adjust it, obviously it says up or down. I've noticed when you go up here, it's actually lowering the post, so it's raising your barrel. Your barrel would be being raised up, and if you go this way, it pushes that post up. Now, I want to show you here, one of the things that I always check when I first get them is how close is the aperture, the rear aperture, to the center post. And in this case, they were almost even, and I could actually raise it up a little bit more, so it's going to be a perfect perpendicular line to the bore axis of the rifle. Now, of course, you can lower that because you're going to want to converge that line of sight with the line of fire when you're zeroing it in. But the fact that they are the same height was a good starting point to me. Again, kind of round here, doesn't have a large and small aperture, it only has the large one. That's probably going to be a deterrent for some of you. It is to me a little bit, but in order to find what I wanted, that is what it is what it is. And then this knob here will move, as you can see, the post left or right, so you can go ahead and zero that. Now I want to show you something here on this pistol, which I'll show you more in the future. Cool thing is you can slip it on here, rock it on, tighten the screw down, fits perfectly, and in fact on just this mil-spec upper, it fits on the back here with no interference to the deflector there. So fits in perfectly. You can tighten that down, fold that down, awesome. Now because they use the same base on both the front and the rear, again, this one fits on there no problem too. Now, one thing I'm going to warn you about is I have this Cerakoted front handguard, and what that does is add just a few thousandths of an inch thickness to everything, and in this case, it does not fit into the T-slots correctly. It's just a little too thick on the inner portion. So what I'm going to have to do in this case is probably take a file and just grind off. You can probably do it here or here, but because these are fairly cheap and disposable in my opinion, I'm going to grind off the paint. I don't think this is Cerakote, it's more like a Duracoat. Grind it off on the inside of the slots here, and that should give me enough room. I think it'll fit after that, but just keep in mind if you're buying these in colors and you have your gun colored Cerakoted, Duracoated, something like that, just because of the tight tolerances, it might not fit. So really cool. I think these are going to be pretty cool. Once they're on the gun and lined up, you're going to have this one in the front and this one in the back, and so you're going to be able to hopefully have a nice accurate weapon and cool backup sights that are pretty small, pretty thin, pretty light, and normally you wouldn't want to use them, so they'll just be kind of out of the way, but when you want to have them, should do the job. But we'll get them on there and take it to the range and find out. Peter Von Panda with the Tac Junction Tactical Flip Up Sights in Flat Dark Earth. Out!